Hi guys, I'm Katie from Mama Wolf channel, and I wanted to talk to you guys about my 6-week postpartum update, as well as baby Hunter's 6-week update. And he's a little fussy today, so let's get started with him and talk about some of the things that he's done during his first 6 weeks of life. So today he's actually 6 weeks and 6 days. He was born on October 9th, and you know, the first 6 weeks of life is a pretty easy time for us mamas, assuming we only have one, which I don't. I have 2. So the first 6 weeks of his life has been a little hectic. But he has really from the beginning has had very good neck control. We can do tummy time with him and he lifts his head up. When you're holding him up to burp him, kind of like this, which he might need, he lifts his head up really good and moves around. He can actually support himself. Hang on. Hey. He can actually support himself, like standing up a little bit if you help him. He's really strong. Compared to my firstborn, he seems stronger than her, and she was pretty strong. He's just recently, starting like last week when he was 5 weeks, started smiling. So when you look at him and talk to him, he starts to smile. He's doing it right now, yes. He's got his eyes, you know, newborn eyes are kind of grayish blue at first, and his eyes have really gotten really blue in the last couple of days. I don't know if they're going to stay blue, but they look really blue and beautiful. His sister's eyes are blue. Mine are brown, and his dad's they're kind of greenish blue. What else have you been doing? He's been sleeping a lot, but within the last week and a half, almost 2 weeks now, he's been a lot more awake. He stays awake a lot longer, and when he's awake, he's way more alert. I don't know how much he weighs. When he was born, within the first 24 hours of birth, he didn't eat very much, because some babies do that, I guess. My first didn't, but he did, and he lost, I think, a half a pound, and gained that back within 72 hours. He gained a full pound back, so he had gained a half pound more from his birth weight. At his 2-week postpartum, or his 2-week doctor's appointment, he had gained, it was 8 pounds 4 ounces, and at his postpartum appointment, or at his 6-week appointment, he was 8 pounds 12 ounces. And I have not weighed him since. I mean, I should have done it before this video, but he feels big. I would guess close to 10 pounds. I'm probably wrong. I'm usually wrong when I guess. But he's well out of newborns. He's in 3-month clothing, and that fits him good. He can wear some 6-month stuff. He's a big boy. He's way bigger than his sister. And what else? What else have you been doing? He's been cooing a lot. Yes, he likes to talk to Mama, and he coos and smiles. He does this thing that he just started doing about 2 weeks ago. What? What did you say? He does this thing that he just started doing about 2 weeks ago, where he will get a really big smile on his face, and then he kind of yells out. It's like a laugh. I'm calling it a laugh. So he started laughing. It's so cute. He has just been a generally really good little baby. Very good disposition, really easy, except for when he's fussy. But when he's not fussy, he's really happy and relaxed, mainly when he's in Mama's arms. Just really sweet, you know. There's the other one running down the hallway with Daddy. And I think that's about it. Some of the things that I really enjoyed having for him during the first 6 weeks are The nose Frida has been really good. You know, babies are always really stuffy at first, and that's been really helpful. We just got his humidifier about a week ago, and that's been really helpful to help with it. Clearing out his sinuses a little easier, but the nose Frida has been spot on. When you go to nurse them, you know, they only breathe out of their nose for the first couple of weeks, and so when they're nursing, they can only breathe out of their nose, and it's really hard for them to nurse when they're stuffy. So having that nose Frida right by the bed's been really helpful to kind of get rid of the snot at a moment's notice so I can feed them. Rock and play has always been a big one for us. We keep them in the rock and play right next to the bed for the first couple months. It makes it easier when you're nursing just to reach over and pull him up when he wakes up and feed him and change his diaper and put him back down. What else? Just recently I've been able to put him in our Ergo with infant insert, and that's been really helpful, especially with the 2-year-old running around. Just to have him in there. He doesn't like it when you're standing still or sitting down, so just to be up and moving, which is fine because I don't stand still or sit down anymore. And he kind of falls asleep in there. Another thing that's been really helpful, especially having 2 kids, is, I know some people don't agree with this, but getting him on some sort of schedule. For the first couple of days, he would eat every couple of minutes, every 30 minutes. He was cluster feeding for the first couple of days, and then even after that, he still eats a lot. He probably eats every 2 hours to 2.5 hours. And I say that's a lot. That's probably normal for a lot of you women. But my first only ate every 3 hours, and she was like really strict about it. So she kind of put herself on a schedule. So getting them on a schedule, both of them, to where it's doable with one person has been very helpful. And I always used the Moms on Call schedule. I know that some of the advice they give is a little maybe outdated and for moms who formula feed, but the schedules that they provide are very, very helpful, and I would highly recommend them. Also, kind of just getting your kid on a routine is really important. I've been a true believer of that. Having Sarah on a routine really helped her. She sleeps through the night now from 7 to 7 every night, goes down without an issue, has a nap from 1 to 3, sleeps beautifully. Really just in the last 2 nights he has done his first 6.5 hour stretches, which has been glorious. So he goes to bed about 8 o'clock. Sorry, my hair is having issues. About 8 o'clock, and then wakes up about 2:30-ish. And then I feed him, change his diaper, put him back down, and then he wakes up again at about 7. So that's been really nice. It's helping me feel a lot better, getting some sleep. And I really think that is it. Having him on a schedule, like I said, has been very, very beneficial. And getting him and my oldest on the same schedule is clutch for my sanity. Otherwise, it's been hard adjusting to 2, as I hear that it can be. So I think that's it for him. For me, I am 6 weeks, 6 days postpartum. I don't have my 6-week appointment with my midwife till next Thursday. But I feel like I've healed a lot quicker physically. I'm not nearly as sore as I was after my first. It took me a while to get over the soreness. That feeling, like a couple weeks after you've had the baby, like you've been riding a bike for 25 days. That feeling is gone. I never really had it this time. After you stand up and you've been standing for a while, you kind of get that really sore feeling down there. But I'm not really feeling that this time around. Just in general, I haven't really noticed any physical things that have been bothering me. I did have a small tear, and that hasn't really bothered me at all. It healed a lot quicker than, again, it did with my first. The postpartum bleeding has been a lot lighter. I probably officially stopped around 5 weeks postpartum, but the whole time it was super light, really hardly noticeable. Weight gain, I gain a lot with my babies. I gained 60 pounds with Sarah and about 55 with him. I never got a final weight, though. I didn't go to my 40-week appointment, so I don't know what the final weight was, but I'm sure it wasn't pretty. Could have been close to 60 pounds with him too. and I would take the blame for it. Although with Sarah, I did not work out a lot with her. I was really tired. I get really sleepy when I'm pregnant. I mean, I have an easy pregnancy, but I'm tired. Everything is heavy, and I just can't stand working out. So with her, I never really worked out. With him, I worked out until about 28 weeks, and then I had a lot of traveling to do from the company I work for work, and kind of just stopped at that point. And it was like July and August, really hot. Did not work out until, I mean, I never worked out. It was just really hard. I get out of breath, and my feet feel heavy. I feel heavy. I hate it. So it takes me about 9 months to lose all the weight. Like, I lose like 20 pounds right off the bat when I have him, right? Because that's how much you're supposed to gain, like 20 to 25 pounds. But then the rest of the weight, it comes off really slowly. So I'm going to try harder this time than I did with Sarah, but it did take me about, I don't know, like almost a year to get down to my pre-pregnancy weight with her. So I'd like to do it a lot quicker this time. I have unrealistic goals set in my head that I want to lose like 10 pounds by the end of this year, but I know it's not healthy and it's not going to happen. So I tell you what, he nurses a lot, so that really does help me. That helps a little bit shed the weight, but also it kind of acts against you. It works against you too, because when you're nursing, your body kind of retains the fat that it stores fat and doesn't want to let it go because you're nursing. So it has been a lot harder for me to eat on a regular schedule with 2 kids, so that's helping as well, but it's also kind of a double-edged sword because, you get dizzy and don't feel so good, so then you end up pigging out when you can and on not healthy food. So my husband and I are talking, we'll really start working on meal planning and having things kind of ready to eat when it's time to eat, because you only have so much time, and so we'll see. Exercise. I've been exercising. This is my first week, so 6 weeks is the first time I've started working out. I only have worked out twice this week, but I do this 3-mile long power walk, and it's a lot of hills, so it's a really good workout, and I'm pushing the double stroller with 2 babies. So I did the math, that's like close to 90 pounds that I'm pushing up these hills. So I did that twice, and it felt great. I'm ready to keep doing it. I'm kind of thinking that we might try and do it today, but we're also decorating for Christmas today. So that's more important with the kiddos. So yeah, I've got like 2 pairs of jeans I can wear. One's a maternity pair of jeans, and the other one is jeans I bought after I had Sarah that are large. And they're still, not fitting too good right now. Really tight. What else? Postpartum depression. I didn't experience that with Sarah. Didn't experience that with him. Like I've said in previous videos, and maybe in this video, I don't remember, but we had a lot of family come to stay with us for like the whole month of November. The last round just left a couple days ago. So that was really hard, having company out. It was great seeing everybody and having everybody get to meet Hunter and help take care of Sarah, but in reality, it was just a lot on us, David and I, my husband, keeping the house clean and feeding them and that kind of stuff. So that kind of contributed to me being really tired, not being able to rest when I can, just because I feel like I have to entertain and always having just to keep the house clean and things like that. So me being overexhausted made me really emotional, which is nothing new. That's not new with having a baby for me. So like I said, I don't really experience postpartum depression. Didn't with Sarah. Have it so far with him. I guess for the first couple weeks I was a little more emotional than usual, but we did have a couple of circumstances that warranted that extra emotion. So I've been feeling good. I just really love having babies. I had a really good birth experience this time, which helps. He's been a pretty good baby. And I just really love motherhood. So the only thing I will say it's been incredibly difficult. The hardest thing in my life, I will say 100%, adjusting from 1 to 2 kids. And I also have, my husband's a stay-at-home parent and I work, and so I have him home with me, and it's still really hard with him home with me. That's a whole separate video. And once I figure it out, the adjustment of 1 to 2, then I'll do a video on it and tell you guys some tips and tricks so you can avoid some of the mistakes that we made, which won't happen, but I can talk about it with you. And I think that's about it when it comes to me. What else? Oh, breastfeeding. He's been a really good feeder. Sarah was kind of difficult for me. Like, she was an easy, she ate well and on schedule and that kind of thing, but she was very like temperamental with her feeding. So if she would really feed off me, if I was in a rush or uncomfortable in any way, shape, or form, like in public, feeding her, she would not feed well. With him, he eats regardless. So if we're in a rush, he'll just take his time eating, and that's nice. If I'm out in public, he eats really well. You hear her crying. So he's been really great. He eats a lot. He eats more often than she does, obviously. But I think I'm now, like, the first couple weeks are really engorged a lot. So I think I'm now slowly starting to regulate. But I will say, like, with every letdown when I'm feeding him, whatever boob is not being used at the time produces a ton of milk still. So, I'm still getting milk all over everything that I wear and all over him. I have been pumping every morning starting at about 3 or 4 weeks postpartum. My goal is to pump every morning after his 9 a.m. feed, Monday through Friday, to build up a stash. I don't do that though. I probably only do it like 3 to 4 days a week, and this week I think I only did it 1 day just because it's Thanksgiving and I don't like pumping. So it's been good though. My milk production seems to be doing good. He's growing off of it, so breastfeeding's been going really well this time, thankfully. He did have his latch at the beginning was a little difficult to overcome. He had some soreness in his jaw after he was born and wouldn't open his mouth all the way, so he was only opening his mouth like halfway, and it wasn't getting a good latch. But he's worked he worked through that. I think it took him about 2 weeks for him to kind of get over that. Now his jaw's fine and he opens it, and he's got a great latch, and he's a really efficient drinker, and just really sweet. He's just a really sweet baby. And I feel really good. Like I said, the past couple nights he's been sleeping well, so I've had good night's sleeps, and I haven't really felt like I've needed naps. And Sarah's starting to feel better, and we've finally got our last visitors in and out. I feel like it's really helped with the exhaustion. So yeah, I think we're doing good. We're on the up and up, although I think my husband's getting a cold now, but once that passes, we should be fine. Yeah, it's just getting used to this new normal, and I will say going from 1 to 2 is really hard. And like I said, I will do a video on that and talk about that. But all in all, it's been great. Second baby postpartum physical, things that you go through is a lot easier than the first one. Your body's kind of used to it, knows how to rebound quicker, and I just felt that immediately. Like, we went to church 2 weeks postpartum. I've been feeling great physically the whole time, just mentally, emotionally exhausted. But other than that, we're good. And it's just been a good experience. But I will say it is the hardest thing I've ever done, bringing a second one into the world. But I feel so blessed. I really do. And I have really strong faith, or I try to have really strong faith and rely on Christ for all my strength. And I forget to do that sometimes. But he really does provide it. And he's provided me with these 2 beautiful children and this wonderful house and this beautiful marriage and a beautiful place. And I just feel really fortunate and I'm very blessed to have these 2. So yeah, I plan on doing more videos. Come around and watch. Let me know what you like and don't like about my videos in the comments below. Please let me know so I can get better with time. Give it a thumbs up too if you like it. I'm going to do a video on going from 1 to 2. I'm going to do a video on my top 10 must-haves for him, and my top 10 must-haves for my 2-year-old. I'll do a video on breastfeeding, because I'm a big proponent for breastfeeding. I just think it's the most important thing that you can do, biggest sacrifice you could do for your children. And I've breastfed my first for a year, and I plan on doing the same with this one, maybe even longer. So I will do a video on that, and then a bunch of other stuff. I mean, I find as a woman looking in a new mother, looking for things online to try and figure out how to be a better mother, there's not a lot of stuff out there and not a huge community, especially for working moms. So I'd like to kind of build that community here, not just for working moms, but for all moms in general, just a place where we can come and share ideas and frustrations and anger, and just kind of, you know, make it a safe place for us to talk. So again, leave me a comment below, let me know what you like and don't like, and I'll be back with some more videos. Also, I posted a video a couple days ago on my birth story of Hunter, if you'd like to go listen to it and watch it and see, you know, all about our birth experience. It was a really awesome experience, all natural. All right, I guess that's it.